Welcome to Inside Reports. I'm Jeff Maynor. Our top-breaking story, the secret world inside our homes. For many of us, out of sight means out of mind. But in her exclusive Inside Report, our Lisa Barron tells us that we're all sharing our homes with uninvited guests. And Lisa's going to introduce you to them with live, exclusive footage. Lisa?
There is a secret, living, and microscopic world found in every American home. You can't see it with the naked eye, but this world is inhabited by teeming millions. Where? In your carpeting, in your bedding, and in the ever-present dust found in even the cleanest of homes. Could your home be any cleaner than this one? Sharon and Bill consider cleaning a team effort, but their team may be up against too much. You see, common household dust is comprised of millions of minuscule particles. And try not to hold your breath. Bugs. Your carpet and bedding can be loaded down with dust mites, pollen, bacteria, mold spores, and in many houses, pet dander. The one thing they all have in common, you can't see them with the naked eye. The media is starting to focus on this world of strangers, and it's starting to make many families concerned.
We both have jobs, so we share the cleaning responsibilities, and we value a clean home, so we work very hard at it.
Personally, it's hard to believe the place is still this dirty after all the work we've gone through.
These unwanted house guests are too small to see, but micro-cinematographer David Scharf has captured these creatures and organisms on film at very high magnifications with his scanning electron microscope.
It would be hard to not find a dust mite. Dust mites are in upholstery under sofas and in the rugs that are near that. The dust mite, when it dies, will break up into pieces. You know, you'll find the leg here and maybe part of the abdomen, the thorax, and there may be other insects such as carpet beetles, which will feed off of the remnants of the dust mite. The problem with most vacuum cleaners is that even though they may have high airflow and pick up the small particles, the filtration efficiency is not good enough, so that what happens is they get blown right through the filter and back out into the air again, which can actually cause more problems because then they become airborne again and you breathe them in.
Related to the spider and the tick, dust mites are 8-legged hairy creatures with pinking sheer jaws. They freely and invisibly roam our carpets and mattresses. Many allergists now believe that dust mites, and specifically their feces, trigger more allergic reactions than anything else in our homes. The good news is that many vacuum cleaners can capture and trap dust mites. The bad news is that their allergen-containing feces, along with other organisms such as bacteria and lung-damaging dust, are much smaller, too small for many vacuum cleaners to filter. These particles can actually end up getting blown into the air we breathe. And this world is not limited to dust mites. Remember, this world of uninvited guests outnumbers you by the millions in your own home. You can't see them, and you should probably consider yourself lucky. Consumer reporter Jim Gaines explains why these organisms are so far winning the battle against our efforts to wipe them out of our home environments.
Lisa, the real dilemma in effective vacuuming comes down to the two things a vacuum cleaner has to do to be effective, to provide cleanability, so to speak. The first is airflow. We all want our vacuum cleaners to have a lot of air movement so they can pull the contaminants out of our carpets, our furniture, our drapes and bedding. Now, in the case of these microscopic particles, they get caught in the fibers of our carpets and fabric, so it takes a lot of air movement to get them out. This is an expensive vacuum cleaner. It may sound powerful, but here's the catch-22. The guts of any vacuum cleaner is the filter. With standard mechanical filters, the better the filter, the less air that can pass through. They filter by obstructing air passages. But if the filter is porous enough to let a lot of air through, it's too porous to pick up the smaller particles. Let me show you. Talcum powder contains particles as small as 1/3 of a micron, about the size of many of the offending organisms we've been talking about. Yet, the majority of vacuum cleaners can't filter effectively particles this small. So, They blow into the air we breathe, making the situation worse than when you started. But there is an answer.
Let me ask you this question. Now that you've seen this, do you feel it's important to do something about this?
Oh, well,
There's more of them than there are of us. What are we going to do?
yes, we would like to do something about it.
Let me tell you, you can. Jim Gaines tells us that one company has risen above the pack.
Lisa, this is the latest in a long line of vacuum cleaner advancements by the Kirby company. Let me tell you what they've come up with. The trick is called electrostatically enhanced filtration. Let me make this easy to understand. Special layers of this electrostatically charged material attract and capture submicro-sized particles. Every kid knows how this works. Static electricity. The point being, the Kirby G4 stops the majority of small particles without compromising its powerful airflow. And here's the acid test. Power and filtration. Goodbye, dust mites, and their aggravating particles, too.
It's a good report, Lisa, and very surprising news.
Well, this is probably the first time most people have seen who they're actually sharing their homes with.
I'm Jeff Maynor.
And I'm Lisa Barron, and this has been Inside Reports.
Thanks for being with us.